I welcome you all to today's session. My name is Atiq Nusrat. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the Afghan Chamber of Commerce and Industries, and I will be your host for the next 2 hours. Today's session will mainly focus towards investment opportunities and advantage that the mining sector has. And of course, we will be also having an overall picture of the investment climate, and as well as the status of the big infrastructural projects which is being carried out. And in between, I will be coming up with some examples the private sector has invested, utilizing or benefiting all these opportunities so far in Afghanistan. Once again, thank you all for coming here. Now I would like to request Professor Qayyumi, Chief Advisor to the President of Afghanistan, to come over here and deliver information on infrastructure projects in Afghanistan.
Good morning, everyone. Mr. Nasrat. As Mr. Nasrat was basically stating, Afghanistan is truly a frontier country in terms of investment, and more importantly, Afghanistan is open for business. And there is a strong emphasis on the role of the private sector. If I paraphrase our president, his comment was that no country has made it from poverty to prosperity through grant and aid. It's usually through private sector investment that countries can move forward. And that's why in the last 3 years there has been a distinct emphasis in trying to work with the private sector. And as part of it, one of the key elements was looking at our soft infrastructures. If you look at the number of laws and the procedures that has been affected in the past 3 years, more laws has been changed, and new laws has been legislated in the last 3 years compared to what we have done in the prior 50 years. So there is a strong emphasis in trying to make it easy for businesses to be able to come to Afghanistan, attract them, and get them interested. Also, in terms of infrastructure, for the first time we developed our infrastructure master plan for the country 2 years ago. It involves all of the key areas of infrastructure, from the electrical systems to roads, railroads, as well as IT and mining sector as a whole. Specifically, of course, for mining sector, I know a few key elements will be in terms of electricity. We are seeing major projects coming along with the electricity. The national grid of the country will be completed in the next 3 to 5 years with a backbone of 500 kV system connected to our 3 northern countries, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, and Tajikistan, as well as being a transit country to transmit power to Pakistan. We have enough projects in the planning right now that within the next 5 years, our generation will be more than our consumption. And even as we speak, in the past month or so, we awarded 3 major public-private partnership projects. This is the solar projects in the south in the Kandahar area, 2 natural gas generation plants in the north, as well as hydro projects in the south in the Kandahar area, which will also be able to accumulate about 1 billion cubic meters of water a year. And right now we have in the planning about 16 other projects waiting for investors to invest in those areas. Similarly, in the railroad area, we've developed a master plan for the country's railroad. We're working with a couple of our neighboring countries in the north to build railroad structures in the north, where it will connect Uzbekistan to Iran, where we will be able to be a key road from all of the Central Asian countries to Iran, and then also come down through the Charbahar port, which will be the closest warm port for all of the Central Asian countries, as well as a number of other routes that will connect with the east. We have a very ambitious roads project where we have quite a few projects in the process, and also in the IT area we We have broken the government's monopoly, so any company, any private sector as well can invest in the fiber sector as a whole. But overall, I think the key is that we've made sure that we do all of this in a very transparent way, in a very accountable way, in a way that will make it so easy for private sector to participate in Afghanistan. And of course, mining being such an important potential for Afghanistan, a country that is well endowed in this area, we're really looking at ways on how we can put our infrastructure together that will make it simpler for many of these projects. Some of our thought 5 or 6 years ago was, as we try to tender some of these projects, we'll expect those mining companies to put the roads, the railroads, the power generation, all of that, and we realized that that was not the most successful approach. So now what we have really been trying to do is how we can really bring all of these elements together, plus very transparent, very accountable laws that will make it easier for people. At this point, I'll stop because I would rather try to have more time for questions and answers later, and I believe all of the presentations are set in such a way that we'll just open the topics, but we're more interested in hearing from you and having more of a dialogue on providing the kind of information that you're interested in. Thanks again for your attention, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Dr. Qayyumi. To reiterate on what Dr. Qayyumi said, now there is a very efficient public-private dialogue mechanism established in Afghanistan. Afghanistan has a private sector-led economy, and the government is prioritizing or giving more importance to the role of private sector. We are now a full member of High Economic Council, which is directly led by the President, and we can raise the voice of the private sector and come up with recommendations. As per the policy recommendations, certain reforms has been initiated, and you will hear about some of them by our next speakers. In the infrastructure, to give an example, for the first time, we had the public-private partnership law, which ensured some investments to take place under a PPP module. We had the investment of over $50 million by the private sector on the production of energy from crude oil. And this is the initial investment. It's going to be expanded in the future. So meaning that there is a very friendly environment in Afghanistan, and private sector is practically leading the economy, and the government is seeing private sector as a strategic partner and providing necessary support as much as possible. Now I would like to request Her Excellency Minister Nehan to talk about the opportunities in the mining sector. Minister Nehan.
Dear guests, ladies and gentlemen, very good morning to all of you. First of all, I'd like to welcome all of you to today's 2 hours presentation that we have on Invest in Afghanistan. Secondly, as mentioned by Dr. Qayyumi, the focus of the government in the last 3 years has been the comprehensive approach to mining sector. That is based on the previous experience of some of the concessions that we have given. We have given the concessions, but the projects unfortunately had not been successful. Partly because we didn't have the experience, we didn't have the expertise, and we didn't know how to negotiate contract. But also partly, the contracts were initiated by the ministry, and there was absolutely zero coordination with other sectors, that their participation and their support is very important for successful implementation of the mining project, such as Ministry of Public Works for roads and railways, Ministry of Energy for water and power, and the Environment Agency, and many other agencies, and as well as Ministry of Finance. So now the approach is that we have a roadmap which is developed and as well as endorsed by the High Economic Council and is approved by His Excellency the President. In that roadmap, you will see that we have tried to address all the issues and infrastructure which are prerequisite to mining sector. And then we have also explained very well that how we are going to move ahead in terms of development of extractive industries. And then the concession that we are going to give, and as well as the engagement and the facilitations and the enabling working environment that we are going to have for the private sector. Of course, those that they have information about Afghanistan, they would question that why they should invest in Afghanistan, especially that the previous mining projects have not been successful, and we have kept halt on some of the projects, and we haven't awarded those contracts. The reason that we have stopped awarding of those contracts was mainly because of the sustainability, to make sure that when we are signing contracts, especially the national unity government, there is a guarantee that the next administration, when they come, they're not going to question transparency of those contracts, and they're going to fully support the implementation of those projects. Of course, there are biases and questions about transparency of some projects. And when we realized that and we made the assessment, we thought it's better that we hold the process and perhaps we go for re-tendering rather than waiting and rushing for the projects, that there are so many questions around their transparency, which later on everybody is going to question that and nobody is going to support that. Now, as mentioned by my colleagues, we have created a two-stage, very simple process for not only the mining projects, but actually for any national projects. So what is happening? We have an investor who is invested and has a very good idea for the mining sector. And we actually met some of them in the last 3 days. We encouraged them to send us a very simple and short concept note, perhaps between 10 to 15 pages, on exactly what they want to do, how much they want to invest, what is going to be the result, what is going to bring that as a benefit, how they will take care of the social and environmental impact of the project, and then how much, what kind of social services they will provide into the people. As soon as that concept comes to us, as a first draft, we have a team that we are reviewing that. Of course, the Office of the President, Dr. Kayumi's office is involved in that, the Ministry is involved in that, Ministry of Finance is involved in that. And once we review that draft, we send back our comments to them. When they are incorporating our comments in the concept note, they submit the concept note to us. We present the concept note to the High Economic Council. And as very well mentioned by Mr. Nasrat, that in the High Economic Council, beside the relevant ministries, those ministries that they're working in these sectors, we also have representation from Afghanistan Chamber of Commerce, from Afghan Women Chamber of Commerce, which are just a few months old, from Afghan Chamber of Mines and Industries, and from Afghanistan International Chamber of Commerce. They are all part of decision-making process for any of these national projects that are coming and presented to the High Economic Council. Once the review is done and the discussions are taking place, and the High Economic Council decide to approve the concept, and then after that we contact the company and we encourage them to submit full proposal to us. So this actually saves us all time, because what was happening before, that companies were coming and they were developing hundreds of pages of the projects, they were submitted to the ministry, there was no process of follow-up, nobody knew, and they had to go from government to government office and they had to lobby for their project. In the end, what was happening, that usually the response was rejection of the process, and they were saying that we cannot accept it. And their time was wasted so much in writing proposal, in lobbying, and going around and trying to present the project. Now we have created a very simple approach to them. They don't have to go and meet different agencies, including Ministry of Mines and Petroleum. They just need to send their concept note to us. We will communicate with them, we will review the concept, we will take it to High Economic Council. Once the High Economic Council make the decision, we will very clearly in a few weeks tell them that either we agree with their project, we approve it, they can submit proposal for our review, or if we don't agree, we very clearly write to them and we tell them this is not our priority and we are not interested in this partnership. That saves so much time, energy and resources of the partners. And secondly, in terms of ministry, as I mentioned, we have the roadmap. We'll be very interested to share the roadmap with all of you, and that it's only between 25 to 30 page document, and it is actually highlighting 28 areas of interest in Afghanistan, which with the support of USGS we have managed to identify, and we are very willing and interested to begin some partnership and have some concessions in those areas. In the meantime, what we have also done, following my my colleagues from Ministry of Commerce will explain to you some of the changes and amendments that we have brought in the laws and legislations and the policies to make Afghanistan a much more friendly environment for the investors. And then after that, there will be a presentation by my colleague focusing on 5 commodities. Of course, these 5 commodities we are presenting as example, But there are also commodities that you'd be interested to actually receive interesting concepts and ideas, and you're very willing to receive them and review them and discuss the ways forward and partnership. There is one thing that in conclusion I'd like to mention, that of course Afghanistan, like many other countries, is not a perfect country to come and invest. There are challenges, there are hurdles, but in the meantime, Afghanistan as a country, beside its natural resources which have remained totally untapped, you go to any sector, you will see that there is so much potential, there is so much opportunities which are untapped in Afghanistan. And especially given the location of Afghanistan, which we are trying to now demonstrate to show that it is not a block, but actually a bridge between the Central Asian countries, South Asia, East and West. So invest in Afghanistan means that beside focusing on the investing in the mining sector and implementing projects in Afghanistan, you are also actually beginning to get involved in the trade volume between the countries which are surrounding Afghanistan, which basically covers the Asia. So I would like to stop my talkings here, and we'll be very interested to have your, of course, very critical questions, and we will be trying our level best to answer all of them. And as you see that this time, the delegation that we have from Afghanistan are coming from different ministries, including Ministry of Mines and Petroleum, Ministry of Commerce, Chamber of Commerce, Afghan Women Chamber of Commerce, Office of the President, and that shows our seriousness in terms of attracting investors to Afghanistan. So after this, you will be communicating to a different group of people where we are interested to take things forward. And the questions that things were on stall for a few years, that was because of some of the homeworks that we have to do to make sure that we are ready for moving ahead. And we are now ready to actually attract investors in Afghanistan, to receive your good ideas and proposals, to get back to you and start some good projects for good and well-being of people of Afghanistan, but as well as for the profit of the mining companies and investors. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister Nahan. As you heard, Minister Nahan talked about the transparency, legal reform, the roadmap, talking about the transparency in the mining sector. We are an EITI country. We will soon be a compliant country within EITI. The good thing about EITI is there is a multi-stakeholder group where private sector plays a very significant role as a member there, and everything is being consulted there. And also in terms of the legal reform, we have a mining law. Now we're amending the mining law. Enough consultation has taken place with the private sector. We're looking forward to have a law which is more investor friendly and provides support to the private investments. And as well as the roadmap has been consulted by the private sector. So there is an efficient cooperation and partnership going on between the private sector. Now I would like to ask the Deputy Minister Masjidi, who's the Deputy Minister for Industry of the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, to give you some information about overall investment and business climate in Afghanistan. Deputy Minister.
Thank you, Nasrat. A very good morning to all the distinguished guests. I'll be brief because most of the things that I wanted to discuss was pretty good shown in the short video that you saw, and that was made by our Invest in Afghanistan team. So I'll skip some of the slides here, but as you mentioned, as you just saw, why invest in Afghanistan in the overall investment and business environment, considering the liberal investment laws, commercial arbitration law of commerce, and you can see the list over there. And these laws were developed based considering all the international standards, and also recently having accession to World Trade Organization. We are complying to all the international standards and requirements of the organization as well. So investors coming to Afghanistan can be assured that all the laws that will be applied on them will be business friendly, and also consider all the regulations and standards of WTO. So tax and duties, as you can see, and also ownership is another important thing, 100% foreign ownership, and also dispute resolution. And recently, well, infrastructure we talked about, you saw in the video as well, agreements and membership, and also duties on machineries. So we have zero duties on import of machineries to the country, or if it's on raw materials, 1% or 2.5%. So these are all the things that we have been trying to do to convince the investors in Afghanistan. And it's not yet enough. We are still working on it, and we are trying to meet all the expectations. And if it's legal framework, it's almost completed, but still if there is one or two laws, we're working on it, and we are continuously amending the laws which needs more clarification. And I think the mining law is one of them that recently some sort of amendments has happened to that law as well to make it up to the expectations. Well, the major sectors that you can invest, of course, we just saw in the video as well: agriculture, energy, mining, infrastructure, health, and also Kabul New City is another opportunity in construction sector and also public procurement. Another issue that you might have in mind is the doing business indicators in Afghanistan. It's important for us to have Afghanistan or to take Afghanistan to the higher level in those rankings as well. Fortunately, we were the best in South Asia in issuing a license a couple of years ago. And also recently we have established a one-stop shop, and every investor can go and take a license within a couple of hours under one roof. And we also hired a Georgian company. Georgia has really good experience in terms of improving their business indicators, and they have provided us with almost 160 recommendations. And the government has established a committee called PRISEC, Private Sector Committee, where the private sector is also a key stakeholder, and we are following closely the implementation of those recommendations. So we are looking forward that we would have higher rankings in the doing business indicators of the World Bank in the upcoming years. So that was all brief on how the overall investment in business environment in Afghanistan is, and I'll be glad to answer any specific questions regarding the environment. And I wanted to keep it brief because next we will be having the technical presentations on mines and opportunities in the mining sector. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Dean Masudi. I would like to add one or two more points on what Dean Masudi mentioned. In order to attract investors to Afghanistan, certain reforms has been initiated by the government during the last 2-3 years. Definitely, the good thing is that in 2014, while the government was newly established as the Chamber of Commerce and Industry, we came up with a set of policy recommendations in a prioritized way. We call that 11 priority recommendations for economic development. It was submitted to the government, to the London conference, and government has acknowledged that. So whatever reform is being taken place is in line with those 11 priorities, and that the ministries, the relevant ministries, are somehow designing their policies, their strategies, and their plans in accordance with those recommendations. This is really a good partnership. Recently, we have inaugurated the first visa on arrival for an investor, which was a couple of weeks back. So any investor who is interested to go to Afghanistan, no need to apply for visa for consulates, general consulates or embassies. You have the link on our Ministry of Foreign Affairs' website. There are very easy requirements. You go to our country, in 15 minutes you will get your visa on arrival, and we're issuing up to 3 years visa. And the licensing reform has been mentioned here. Dispute resolution, the good thing is it's being managed by the private sector. The government has no influence on the dispute resolution. We have the Commercial Dispute Resolution Center established by the private sector. Any dispute arises will be settled and resolved there. So that's why Afghanistan is the land of rising opportunities. Do not waste time, rush and get benefited from that. Thanks for your attention. Now we will be having a presentation on certain commodities in the mining sector, their competitive and comparative advantages, the qualities. Our colleague, Mr. Fakhri, are you going to do the presentation? Who is the economic advisor to the Minister of Mines, is going to be delivering the presentation to you. So after that, we will go to questions and answers sessions. Any questions you have in mind, could ask to any of the panelists, including myself, and we are ready to answer your questions. Thank you very much.
You might be thinking why we don't have a geologist and everyone is on board. So once again, when Nusrat called me again once from the economics. Okay, overall we discussed the general opportunities in Afghanistan and how we can invest in Afghanistan. We have had very good things, starting from the video, the promotional video we have made for the Invest in Afghanistan campaign. And after that, we had the Excellency's comments on how to deal with the infrastructure and mining in Afghanistan. And Nusrat says very good things about how we have improved in doing business in Afghanistan and how we have enhanced the opportunities in Afghanistan. Right now, I will be focusing on 5 priority commodities that we wanted to promote in this event. Before directly going to those commodities, I will be discussing some points from the new mining roadmap. That will be the path for developing the extractive industries in Afghanistan, and it has been approved by the High Economic Council months back. We will have these policy implementation. In the new mining roadmap of Afghanistan, we have classified all minerals in Afghanistan, all the extractive sector in the primary metals, industrial materials, building materials, and hydrocarbon resources. Under the primary metals, overall we have 2.2 billion metric tons of iron ore and 1.3 billion metric tons of marble, almost 30 million metric tons of copper, 1.4 million metric tons of rare elements, and 2,700 kilograms of gold. These are the preliminary resource estimations, but we think that sure it will be much higher resources because the surveys do not include the whole territory of Afghanistan. And based on the United States Geological Surveys, we have identified 24 areas of interest. These are the areas that the government of Afghanistan is willing to promote and attract investment in. Okay, what do we have changed? What we have changed in the new mining roadmap? Types of mining license and associated decision rights. Now, how are the decision rights in Afghanistan? For a consent, you're just submitting an application, and the High Economic Council will be approving that. The maximum area will be 20,000 square kilometers, and the term will be 2 years, no extension. For exploration, the process will be tendering, and the decision rights will again go to the Hague, plus the approval of cabinet, and the maximum area will be 250 kilometers, and term will be 3 years plus 1 year extension. For exploitation, we will have it based on it will differentiate in each mineral. We will have it in tendering application. Once again, we will have the High Economic Council approval and also the cabinet approval. It will be 50 square kilometer, 30 years plus 50 years of extensions. And for the small scale mining, again, it will be tendering overall, and the High Economic Council will be approving, and the maximum area will be 1 square kilometer, and the term will be 10 years. So, if right now the government of Afghanistan is working on amending the mineral law, the mineral code, the mining code, and most of the things that we will be amending will be all according to our new approved mining roadmap. The things that I am discussing today in this presentation and the previous slide, these will be the things that will be all incorporated in the new mining code of Afghanistan. With what minerals Afghanistan will be starting? Are we again will go to with bulk metals like we have had the experience of the iron, copper, or we have a different prioritization this time? This time, according to the new mining roadmap of Afghanistan, we'll be starting with the construction materials. Afterward, we will go to the industrial minerals and precious metal, and the last will be bulk metals. And the reason that we have put the bulk metals at the end of our prioritization right now because we have the experience of the iron, copper, and some things, some negotiations on the Hajigak iron ore. And our experiences shows that, okay, when you don't have the right infrastructure there, you cannot have a successful project around. Industry and regional market development. What we have in each region of Afghanistan, in the eastern part, we have the industrial minerals, gemstones and talc. The bulk will be copper and iron, building materials, marble. These are the things that we have in the eastern province of Afghanistan. In the north, we have gold, gemstones, copper, marble, limestone, and we have these hydrocarbon basins, Samudaria and Afghan Tajik. At the western region, we have copper and marble plus limestone. In southern region, we have rare earth elements, gold, chloride, and copper. And again, in the central region of Afghanistan, we have the rare earth elements and lead plus zinc. And the prioritized markets for development of cement production, this is a very high priority for the Afghan government. We have many large deposits of limestone, gypsum and clay, all in the northern provinces of Afghanistan. And they have access to all the infrastructure around. You have all the utilities around. This is one of the most amazing opportunities right now in Afghanistan. And the Afghan government is planning to give free raw materials for the company who is interested in investing in Afghanistan. It includes the access to coal in Afghanistan, and we will be negotiating on how will we chart the reality. But the preference is right now to make the coal also part of the package and offer it as a free like an incentive if a company is doing good, coming with a good machinery, the standard machinery, which is being used in the European countries and like Japan. But the companies that are not good at the environmental issues, we will not be offering too many incentives. After that, we have the hydrocarbon market development. It will be the northern basins, and we have the gold market development. We will have this market for Ghazni and the Zarkashan areas. We have the Jamestown market development. We have already worked to have a Jamestown hub in Afghanistan in all airports of Afghanistan. So the things are getting to be soon finalized. The rare elements and the bulk minerals. On the rare elements, okay, based on the new mining roadmap of Afghanistan, this will be a part of the National Security Council's rights to make a decision on the rare elements. But on bulk minerals, as I discussed earlier, it will not be a good option to work it out right now because we don't have the right infrastructure on there right now. On talc, we have good opportunities right now. More than 24 companies are already working on processing talc in the Nangarhar province of Afghanistan. We have one of the highest quality of talcs in that part of Afghanistan. From the 24 companies, 2 to 3 companies are doing this in the standard level, which has been accepted by most of the European countries. And the thing that I am requesting right now, I call ask every investor in this room that make the deal directly with the Afghan investors, with those who are producing, who are mining these in Afghanistan. Do not buy it from a middleman. I mean, do not buy it through other country. You can directly buy this from the Afghan producers, which are doing the mining, which are processing them in the eastern part of Afghanistan. And chromite, we have resources. Okay, and the 5 minerals that I earlier discussed that will be, it was planned to promote it in this event. We are starting with marble. Again, in these provinces of Afghanistan, we have high quality marble. Badakhshan, Bal, Faryab, Herat, Helmand, Samandan, Baghdad, Ghazni, Kabul, Parwan, Nangarhar. The reserves in Herat and Nangarhar province are the quality of the reserves in marble are always compared to Carrara marble of Italy. And most people experts in the marble industry believes that marble in Chishti Sharif is in quality-wise much better than Carrara of Italy. And these are the technical specification of all the resources, and we think that it's more than 1.3 billion metric tons, and the value of these reserves on the market price would be around 200 billion US dollar. This has been calculated, the recent price of marble around the globe. And if you want to have a processing plant in Afghanistan, it will cost less than $5 to $10 million. That's all. That's a necessary. That's a billion. That's billion. And Afghan gemstones, I think one of the things that we had much more discussion on our booth was about the Afghan gemstones. Everyone was just looking with the lapis lazuli we had in our booth. Everyone was asking questions about that. We have the large amount of gemstone reserves in the Badakhshan, Nuristan, Panjshir, Kabul, and Kran province of Afghanistan. We do not have an exact number of the reserves yet. We need to study more and come up with the right numbers. But right now, the explorations are in a very low, not with a very high technology, but it's open for doing business, and you can buy it, you can explore it, you can exploit it. That's very easy. Okay. We have Afghanistan talk. As earlier I discussed, we have a talk right now. Processing plants and the mining are all in the Nangarhar province of Afghanistan. But we have the tall reserves in Kandahar, Ghazni, Wardak, Logar, Baghlan, Parwan, Kabul, Kapisa, and Kran provinces. And there is a very high opportunity to invest from these provinces. You have access to the required infrastructure, and you can easily transport it to wherever you want around the globe. And while we have talk here, the global talc consumption growth rate, you can see that it will be increasing till 2022, and the revenue is also increasing from 2012 to 2022. You can see that the trend is all going on the right side. And the global talc capacity market share, why is that important for us in Afghanistan, and why we have put it out right there? It's believed and has been proved that we have Pakistan among the countries with the capacity market share, but based on the very reliable reports, most of the talcs exported from Pakistan and called the Pakistani talc, or the talcs mined in Nangarhar provinces and bought by the middleman from the process plants in Afghanistan, in Nangarhar province, and they are sold under the Pakistan level. But we assume that we have that market share in the world, and by asking this from the potential investors under this selling, that we are just asking them to deal directly with the Afghan producers, Afghan miners, and that's the way we can represent Afghanistan's salt, and we have Afghanistan's name on Afghanistan's salt. We have already more than 35 million investment in the talc industry in Afghanistan. The export value is more than $500,000 US. That's the the export value in metric tons is nearly 500,000. It's the only registered, but we have that unregistered that's being illegally exported. And the value of export has increased dramatically. You can see that in 2015 it was very low. It was around 100,000 US dollars, but right now we are exporting more than $6 million value of tall exports. You can buy high quality tall from Italy in 214 US dollar, but you can access the Afghanistan salt. You can buy Afghanistan salt in less than $100. You can in each ports around the globe you want it, it's less than $100. Afghanistan, I don't know, earlier I discussed that this is not a priority for Afghanistan right now to go with the bulk minerals. In case of iron ore, I did mean only for the Hajigat. In the Hajigat part of Afghanistan, in the central region of Afghanistan, we do not have the right utility and the right infrastructure right now to start mining our iron ore. But in the Orient area, we have all the utilities available around, and we have the infrastructure right there. We have the Khaf railway, we have electricity there, you have water there, you have everything you need to mine these iron ore there. His Excellency Professor Qaimi will discuss more about these after my presentation. On Afghanistan oil and gas, we have the Afghan Tajik Basin, we have Angaria Basin, we have Southwest Afghanistan Helmand Basin, we have the Southeast Afghanistan Katawaz Basin, and we have the West Afghanistan Koshkat and Kol basins extending to Iran. These are the main basins that we have oil and gas in Afghanistan. The issue of doing business in Afghanistan is not only addressed by His Excellency Deputy Mr. Masjidi, but I just wanted to show a comparison of Afghanistan's doing business in the region. We are performing much better than many countries in our region, and we are performing better than the regional average. Afghanistan's, compared to Afghanistan's competitors. In starting business, we are the best in the region, and the distance to frontier is 84.28, and we are extensively working to make all the other indicators better in Afghanistan. Just 2 weeks back, we have amended the laws for dissolving insolvency and protecting minority investors, which is addressed in the LLC law. These amendments were approved by the cabinet. It will be sent to Parliament, and soon you will have a better face of these two indexes, protecting minority investors and the dissolving insolvency indexes, much better in the coming report of the World Bank's Doing Business report. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. You have heard about the steps to get a mining license from the Ministry of Mines, about the procurement procedures, which is being more simplified, and the roadmap. The key items in the roadmap has been highlighted by Mr. Fakhri, and also the commodities, including iron, marble, gemstone. I just want to add one thing on marble. We hold a conference in 2013 on marble sector, where Italian ambassador was invited as one of the speakers. The Italian ambassador acknowledged that Afghanistan's white marble, which is located in the northwestern provinces, which is called a place called Chishti Sharif within Herat province, he said Afghanistan's white marble located in Herat is much better than Carrara marble of Italy. This is what the Italian ambassador was telling. And we're already exporting that to some of the neighboring countries. In last December, we had a conference in India where the contract contracts totaling about $50 million for purchasing marble from Afghanistan was signed between Indian buyers and Afghan sellers, meaning that there is a huge demand in the region, Azerbaijan being one of the largest consumers of marble, and Turkmenistan being one of the largest consumers of marble. So whatever investments you do in the marble sector, and there is more than enough market for the products being produced, manufactured. Thank you again for your attention. So if there is any specific question by the distinguished guests over here to any of the panelists, we are ready to answer. Any question? Please. Do we have a wireless mic?
Yes. Yes, we have.
If we have two, we could get one to the panel.
I only got one.
Okay, you have one. So we will ask, we will bother the panelists to come back to them.
Thank you.
Okay, we will get the questions. First 3, maximum 5 questions. Then please specify the person who you are asking the question to. And then we will request the panelists to come over here and answer the question one by one.
Thank you for the presentations, ministers. My name is Anthony Benham. I'm from a company called IGS Limited, previously known as BGSI. I've got 2 quick questions. The first question is to Mr. Neha. It's regarding the roadmap. As you know, my company was involved in helping putting together that roadmap. I just wondered, has that now been officially approved by the Higher Economic Council? Affirmative, great. And the second question was regarding logistics. You mentioned the visa on arrival scheme. Is that just for investing companies, or is that for everybody?
So,
Anyone else?
anyone else? Please.
Yeah, it was a very good presentation. My name is Ranjan Banerjee. I work for a company called Policy Research International. The question I have is, if a Canadian junior mining company goes to Afghanistan and starts the process, when do you think they'll be able to have the operation, the mining operation going? Like, what is the time scale that you project? Is that 1 year, 2 years, or like some South Asian countries, is that 15 years?
Okay, so your question is to Minister Nahan. Any other question? Oh, okay, so there is no question. Before I bother Minister Nahan to come and answer your question, with regards to visa on arrival, it's for any business. If you have a registered company within your country, you will fulfill certain requirements. You have to have a notarized, license from your government, show that, and also a specific bank transaction is going to be shown. No matter whether you are president or vice president of the company, an official representative of the company with an official letter from the management, top-level management, could also get benefited from this visa on arrival. So it's very simple and easy, and we are lobbying with the government in order to make it more simple, even not to ask for bank statement or the transaction dates, all these things. So, what you said, Mr. Nahan?
Thank you very much. The first question was about the roadmap. Yes, the roadmap is officially approved, I believe 2 months back, by High Economic Council. And now we are in the process of bringing amendments to the law to make sure that they incorporate the changes that we have in the roadmap. We reflect all of them in the law. The second question was how long the time will take. To be honest with you, we haven't done the timing of the mapping of the timing to tell you exactly, but based on the experience with 3 projects that we have, it takes maximum between 6 months to 1 year to start the operation. And as I mentioned, it's just this, the process is much more simpler now, but still we have to review, and then you have to prepare a proposal, and then the proposal have to be reviewed, and negotiations have to take place. So all of them are taking 1 month, 1 year maximum. There is one more thing that I'd like to mention. with regard to the roadmap that was presented by my colleague, that you must be thinking that while we are attracting investors, we are encouraging to come and invest in Afghanistan. We are focused only on 5 commodities, which are most of them are not might not be the right commodities that would attract investors, especially big investors or even small investors, or perhaps we can bring foreign investors. Beside having our own priority commodity, we are also very open to actually have new ideas and concepts and applications from the investors, that what are the other commodities that are having good market, and especially Afghanistan could be a good place that they can have their application, and we are also open to reviewing them. So we are not stuck to these commodities. Hope I have answered the questions. Thank you.
So, any other question? Okay, if there is no question, we are going to end our session. There was one? Okay. Oh, Paul. Yeah, Fakhri said, is a presentation online, available online, or you're going to share how?
It will be available online very soon.
So, maybe I could request all the participants to leave your business cards on the table. We will collect it and our colleagues may share the presentation with you. I think that's maybe a better idea. You have a question? Please.
I'm wondering if the risk of conflict would persuade or dissuade companies from investing, and I'm wondering what efforts are being made to make things easier.
I think generally in terms of conflicts, yes, it will always be an issue, but let's look at it in a realistic sense. What parts of the world that you have most of the mines, except, if you just take Canada or Australia or US out, that they do not have conflicts and close to the mines. So I think the most important element is how we are managing those ones, how we're really working to make sure that, for instance, now any major project that we have, even in construction, certainly in mining, we always have a security plan as part of it. The government is working closely with, especially through the Ministry of Interior, to develop those plans and implement them. And depending upon the role of that project, it's even an element as part of our national security, even weekly reports. So I think from that point of view, when you look at the security of a mine, it's far easier versus when you look at security of pipelines, security of transmission lines, security of building roads, railroads, and whatever. So I think on that aspect, certainly there will always be some issues, but overall, I think what the plans that has been put together and has been implemented has been successful.
Thank you. So, one more question. Okay.
Probably the last question.
Good morning.
We have time to get as much as questions you have. Okay.
Yes. It's Aziz Amiri from Canada Afghanistan Business Council. We will have a meeting or an expo on April 29th to May the 2nd. So whoever is interested to further learn about opportunities in Afghanistan, please contact the embassy because they are a partner with us. Please contact us at Business Council. Very interesting presentation. Thank you very much. The security, as my colleague was asking and answered also, I believe that the government has a special force to protect the mining establishments. So the government has specific forces that are allocated for the security of the mining. Maybe Mr. Nasrat could explore more on that. Thank you.
As the representative of the private sector, let me clarify one thing for you. Security definitely is a concern for each and every investor, and the government is initiating certain measures to prevent the security of the investors. But when you look from private sector's perspective, high risk, high turnout. The profit margin in Afghanistan is not comparable with any other country in the region or maybe in the world. 30% to 50% profit margin you will get out of that. This is why I'm telling, because I'm representing the private sector. So that's an advantage. Security will be maintained, and beside the security concerns, you have so many other opportunities being provided by the government, and the high turnout from the business is of course key thing for any investor and businessman. Okay, do we have any question, any other question? So if you don't have a question, I would again reiterate on what Mr. Amiri said. Please mark your calendar. If April 29th is going to be the first business-to-business matchmaking conference between Afghan private sector and Canadian private sector, it will provide an opportunity for the Canadian investors and other investors in the region to hear directly from the players who are the private sector, from potential partners. So they will tell you how they are doing in terms of their business, what are the challenges. They will share the success stories they have with you. So I hope this is going to be a very fruitful and efficient event. So we would officially kindly invite you through our Ambassador Karukhil and Ambassador Francois, the Ambassador of Canada to Afghanistan, is also sitting here, and he's very friendly, supporting our business community to make this conference happen. And it's going to be a good opportunity, so you are all invited there. And thank you once again, thank you all for being here. I would like to thank the panelists, thank myself. Thank you.
د وطن ما قدرمن لیدونکو زما امان الله اتل سلامونه او نیکې هیلې ومنئ او په دې هیله چې تاسو ټول جوړ او خوشحاله اوسئ. زموږ د ځانګړو خبرو لړۍ ادامه لري. لکه څنګه تاسو خبر یاستئ د افغانستان لوړپوړی هیئت د څو ورځو لپاره د پیډکس کنفرانس د اشتراک په موخه ټورنټو کاناډا ته راغلي دي. د دغه مرکو په لړ کې زما ترڅنګ د ولسمشر علي صلاحکار، د اقتصادي او د منابع بشري په برخه کې سلاکار ښاغلی قیومي زما ترڅنګ ولاړه. دوی څخه به وپوښتو چې د دوی سفر موخه اصلي څه شی وه او تر دمګړۍ یې کومې لاسته راوړنې درلودلې. ښاغلی قیومي ډېره زیاته مننه کوو چې موږ ته مو وخت راکړ او هیله ده چې ستاسو سفر په خیر تېر شوی.
ژوندی اوسئ او زما سلامونه ومنئ.
ډیره مننه کوو چې موږ ته مو وخت راکړ په لنډ وخت کې. تاسو د سفر اساسي موخه څه وه او تر اوسه پورې مو سفر څنګه روان دی؟
تر اوسه پورې الحمدلله سفر ډېر موفقه سفر و، بریالیتوب یې ډېر و. زما سفر دلته په پیډک په کنفرانس په باره کې چې په معادنو په باره کې ده، امکانات به ګورو چې افغانستان څنګه کولی شي د پیډک نه لخوا نه خپل طبیعي منابع چې خورا ډېره دي کولی شي چې استخراج به وکړو او ګټه به واخلو.
دغه پیډکس کنفرانس کې لکه څنګه چې تاسو هم خبر یاست دا دی چې څه باندې 100 غړي هیوادونه ګډون کوي. څومره امیدواري په دې کنفرانس په لړ کې د افغانستان لپاره پیدا شوله؟
او په دې باره کې امیدواري ډېر ده. په دې کې لازم ده چې 100 هیوادونه دلته شرکت کوي د دوی تجربې نه او خاصتا د کانادا تجربه کې په دې هڅه کې ډېر دي کولی چې دونه استفاده وکړو او ځینې کشورونو ځینې هیوادونو سره مې بالاتر ملاقاتونه مې درلودل. دوی سره انشاءالله به تماس به ونیسي او دوی سره کار به وکړو انشاءالله.
که داسې په لنډو کې راته ووایاست او زموږ لیدونکو ته ووایاست چې د افغانستان وروستی تصویر که په لنډو ټکو کې معرفي کړئ چې څومره د بهرنیو پانګونو دپاره دغه فرصتونه دغه زمینې مساعده شوي دي چې ستاسو تصویر به څه وي ورته لنډ؟
په دا درې کاله کې دا تصویر ډېره امیدواره تصویر ده. یعنې خاصتا په زیربنایي شکل کې ډېر سرمایه ګذاري ډېر سوی او د رئیس جمهور علاقه په سکتور خصوصي کې ډېر زیات ده. د لحاظ نه قوانین چې تغییر کړي او په پی پی شکل چې جوړ شوی انشاءالله امکانات زیاتوي او امید ده چې کانادایی کمپنیگانو خاصتا افغانی کانادایی کمپنیگانو باید الله د افغانستان ته رابسي او د زمینه د لحاظ نه ډېر سوی انشاءالله.
ډیره مننه. که تاسو زموږ لیدونکو ته ځکه زموږ اکثره لیدونکي افغانان دي، که تاسو چیرته د افغانستان په اړه باندې داسې هغه موجوده حالت بیا هم خصوصا ډیری افغانان دا اندېښنې لري چې اوس مهال وضعیت یو څه مخ په خرابېدو روان ده، خو په ورته وخت کې د ولسمشر هغه اصلاحاتي او هغه زیربنایي پلانونه په ډېر ښه توګه روان دي. که په دغه اړه باندې زموږ لیدونکو ته خصوصا هغه کاناډایي میشته چې دا اوس موږ او تاسو په ژوندۍ بڼه باندې ګوري دغو ته خپل نظر ورکړه.
په لومړی موږ ډېر هیله مند یو چې د زیربنایي پروژهګانې چې شروع سوی انشاءالله په لږ وخت کې یعنی تاثیرات مثبت تاثیرات په ټول برخو کې به ووینو و انشاءالله په آینده کې د افغانستان تصویر خورا مثبت به وي انشاءالله.
ډیره زیاته مننه کوم چې موږ ته مو وخت راکړ او خدای وکړي چې ستاسو سفر د لاسته راوړنو څخه ډک وي او له ډک لاس سره بیرته افغانستان ته لاړ شئ.
ډیره مننه وروره، ورځ مو په خیر.
ډیره مننه کوم. قدرمنو لیدونکو موږ دمګړی هڅه کوو چې له خپل بل درانه قدرمن میلمه سره د دغه کانفرانس په اړه باندې لنډې خبرې ولرو. له موږ سره اوسئ. قدرمنو لیدونکو بیا هم ښه راغلاست. لکه څنګه ستاسو خبره سي د افغانستان لوړپوړی هیئت د پیډکس کانفرانس د ګډون په موخه له افغانستان څخه ټورنټو ته راغلي دي او اوس مهال زما تر څنګ د صنایعو او د تجارت او صنایعو وزارت ښاغلی معین ښاغلی فیروز خان مسجدي صاحب زما تر څنګ ولاړه. دوی څخه به حال وپوښتو. ښاغلی معین صاحب ډیره زیاته مننه چې په لنډ وخت کې به موږ ته فرصت راکړ. د پیډکس کانفرانس په اړه باندې موږ ته ووایئ، خپل سفر په اړه باندې موږ ته لنډ معلومات شریک کړئ.
مننه. اول سلام وړاندې کوم ټول لیدونکو ته، تاسو ته او په کانادا کې ټولو میشتو افغانانو ته. خدای دې وکړي چې جوړ و روغ اوسي. د موږ هدف د اشتراک نه په دې برنامې کې دا دی چې د افغانستان هغه معادنو فرصتونه دوی ته معرفي شي او په افغانستان کې د سرمایه ګذارۍ او د پانګونې دپاره چې کوم فرصتونه دي هغه او هغه مناسب محیط چې کوم هلته جوړ شوی د هغې په اړه د کاناډا هغه تجارانو ته او همدغسې د ټولې نړۍ تجارانو ته تشریک و هغه او دوی سره شریک کړو تر څو وکړی شو چې په افغانستان کې لازمه پانګونه جذب کړو. نو په همدې مخه موږ دلته اشتراک کړی او د هغې تر څنګ د افغانستان د هغه افغان کنیډین کم کمیونټي چې د بزنس د هغوی سره موږ ولیدل او مختلفو مملکتونو سره موږ ولیدل او مختلفو ځایو کې موږ خپل پریزنټیشن یې ورکړې. نو هغه عمومي هدف د همدې برنامې دا و.
ډیره مننه. د دې سفر په لړ کې مو مشخصې لاسته راوړنې مو څه وې؟
هغه د ټول نه مهمه لاسته راوړنه دا ده چې په دغسې غټ کنفرانس کې چې د نړۍ ټول هیوادونه اکثریت هیوادونه راځي هغوی ته د افغانستان سرمایه ګذاري فرصتونه معرفي کول دي، د افغانستان د معادنو په اړه معلومات ورکول دي او د ډیرو مختلفو نورو مملکتونو سره لیدل د هغوی تجربې او د هغوی کوم لاسته راوړنې چې د هغې نه موږ څنګه ګټه کولی شو دا بل هغه لاسته راوړنه ده او همدغسې هغه روابط یا نیټورک چې موږ جوړوو د هغې نه استفاده د افغانستان د سرمایه ګذارۍ او معادنو په بخش کې دا لاسته راوړنې دي.
د افغانستان د امنیتي وضعیت څخه په کتو سره د افغانستان ولسمشر په دې وروستیو کې ډېرې زیربناوي او اقتصادي برنامې تر لاس لاندې نیولې دي. د دغه زیربنايي او اقتصادي برنامو د نړیوالو ستاسو دلته راغلی غبرګون څه و او د هغوی مشخصې غوښتنې په هغې کې څه وې، کومه تمې په دوی کې پیدا سوې وې؟
دغه مهمې بین الملتي او لوړې برنامې لکه د ټاپي پروژه کاسای ګذر دا د افغانستان لپاره ډېر مهمه دي. افغانستان باندې او د افغانستان کې سرمایه ګذارۍ لپاره ډېر ښه اعتماد رامنځته کوي او د نورې نړۍ توجه هم جذبوي چې افغانستان کولی شي یو ډېر ښه پوتنسیل ولري د راتلونکي دپاره او هلته د سرمایه ګذارۍ دپاره یو ښه مناسب محل واوسي. نو د دې دپاره دا ډېر غټ لاسته راوړنه د افغانستان حکومت خصوصا جلالمآب رئیس جمهور د هغې هغه هدف هم دا دی چې افغانستان د سوداګرۍ او ترانزیت یو مرکز وګرځي. نو د دغسې پروژو نور هم هغه نړۍ ته معرفي کول او د هغوی توجه جلب کول د افغانستان د آیندې لپاره ډېر ښه نتیجې لري.
لکه څنګه چې زموږ قدرمن لیدونکي دا اوس مهال موږ ویني د یو هغه افغان چې هلته تاسو لوړ مسؤلیت هم لرئ، ستاسو وینا افغانانو ته خصوصا ځوانانو ته څه شی ده چې په دغسې شرایطو کې کوم مسؤلیتونه دوی ته ایجاب کوي او په افغانستان دننه کوم فرصتونه دي چې دوی کولی شي هغې کې برخه واخلي او عملي ګامونه پورته کړي؟
ټول افغانان د مونږ افتخار دی په هر ځای کې په هر ګوټ د نړۍ کې چې دي. د افغانستان لپاره مهمه دا ده چې مونږ خپل اولاد خپل افغانانو باندې تحصیل وکړو، هغه لوړې تحصیلي کچې ته ورسوو تر څو د خپل هیواد د انکشاف او آبادۍ دپاره هغه کوم کارونه چې ضرورت دي دوی د هغې دپاره لازم تحصیل او مهارتونه ولري. نو ټول افغانان چې په هر ګوټ د دنیا کې دي تحصیل ته باید توجه ورکړي، خپل تحصیلات تکمیل کړي که بیا چیرته افغانستان خپل هیواد خپل کور دی هلته راځي هم به زمینه ورته د کار برابروي او که په نورو نړۍ کې هم دوی کار کوي افغانستان ته به یو مثبت تاثیر حتما لري نو د هر ځای کې چې وي خپل هیواد د نه هیروي ځکه هغه زمونږ خاوره ده او همیشه په هماغه نوم یادیږو نو په هر ځای کې چې وي دوی د آباد اوسي ځوانانو دپاره مهمه د خپل ژوند کې یو هدف وټاکي هغه هدف ته د رسیدو دپاره هغه مشخص ابجکتیف تعیین کړي او درې هغه اصل چې زه همیشه په هغې باور لرم هغه دا دی چې د هدف ټاکنه زحمت یا هارد ورک او کمیټمنټ یا تعهد درلودل دي نو انشاءالله هر هغه هدف چې موږ په ژوند کې ولرو هغې ته به رسېږو
او د افغانستان دننه ورته تاسو کوم پیغام لرئ چې په افغانستان دننه کې کوم فرصتونه دي چې په دې وروستیو کې هغه کولی شي چې ځوانان هغه ته راجلب شي
افغانستان د هغه انکشاف په لور روان دی په ټولو بخشونو کې هم خصوصي سکتور کې هم حکومت کې تکړه ځوانانو او باکدره ځوانانو ته ضرورت دی نو که دوی غواړي چې مثلا بیرته افغانستان کې یا په حکومت کې یا په خصوصي سکتور کې کار وکړي تحصیلاتو ترڅنګ که هغه لږ یو نیم تجربه لري نو دوی دپاره به مناسب فرصتونه برابریږي او برابر دی او انشاءالله دوی به ښه راغلاست ورته ویل کېږي
بیا هم ډیره زیاته مننه کوم تاسو د دې سفر په لړ کې تاسو ته د لا موفقیتونو غوښتنه کوم
مننه خیر اوسه
قدرمن لیدونکو زما ترڅنګ ځوان ښاغلی معین صاحب چې مثبت پیام یې موږ تاسو درلوده ترې ډیره زیاته مننه کوو له موږ سره اوسیږئ موږ له نورو قدرمنو میلمنو سره به هم د هغوی پیغام د افغانستان په اړه او د دغه کانفرانس په اړه ترېنه ولرو موږ سره اوسئ قدرمنو لیدونکو د وطن ما قدرمنو لیدونکو زما سلامونه ومنئ د افغانستان څخه یو لوړپوړی هیئت ټورنټو ته د پیډکس کانفرانس د ګډون په موخه راغلی ده چې زما ترڅنګ اوس د تجارت او صنایعو د اتاقونو مشر ښاغلی عتیق الله نصرت زما ته څیرمه ولاړه دوی سره به د دغه سفر په موخو او اهدافو باندې لنډې خبری ولرو جناب نصرت صاحب بسیار تشکر میکنیم از شما که برای ما فرصت مساعد کردین در نخست اگر روی امی برنامه پیدکس و دستاوردهای شما به بیننده های ما معلوماتی را بکنین ممنون
بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم قسمی که شما میفهمین کنوانسیون پیدک یا برنامه پیدک یک برنامه است که مختص روی معادن و منابع طبیعی دایر میشه که حدوداً از 120 کشور به تعداد بیشتر از 25,000 نفر سالانه به این برنامه اشتراک میکنند که در شهر تورنتو کانادا برای 4 روز دایر شده. امسال از افغانستان نیز یک هیئت بلند رتبی دولتی و سکتور خصوصی تشریف آوردند که به نمایندگی از سکتور خصوصی ما در ترکیب هیئت بودم به عنوان رئیس اتاق تجارت و از طرف دولت هم وزیر صاحب معدن و مشاور ارشد رئیس صاحب جمهور در امور زیربنا و معین وزارت تجارت تشریف داشتند و برای ما این مدت 3-4 روزه که ما اینجا هستیم و از کنفرانس بازدید کردیم در پهلوی ازی که ما از نمایشگاه بازدید کردیم در افتتاحیه کنفرانس اشتراک کردیم ما ملاقات های با یک تعداد مقامات کانادایی و دیگر کشورهایی که اینجا وسط وزیر و معین آمده بودند با ایشان داشتیم و در رابطه با فرصت‌های معدن صحبت‌های کافی صورت گرفت و قسم که شما میفهمین افغانستان یک کشوری است که از نقطه نظر موجودیت منابع طبیعی در منطقه بی‌نظیر است و بیشتر از به ارزش 3 تریلیون دلار ما منابع طبیعی داریم که و امروز هم برنامه‌ای را که کنفرانس را که ما اینجا دایر کردیم حدوداً 150 نفر از سرمایه‌گذارای بالقوی از کشورهای مختلف که علاقمند هستند برند در سکتور معدن در افغانستان سرمایه گذاری کنند اینجا حضور به هم رسانیدن و توسط نهادهای مربوطه معلومات کافی در رابطه با فرصت‌ها در رابطه با انواع اقسام معادن و محصولات منابع طبیعی که در افغانستان وجود دارد چی مرمر است چی سنگ‌های قیمتی است یا فلزات در رابطه با او معلومات کافی راه شد و یک تبادل نظر بین هیئت و اعضای اشتراک کننده سرمایه‌گذاران در این کنفرانس صورت گرفت و همچنین کنفرانس ها زمینه را برای ما مساعد می سازد تا اینکه ما فرصت های موجودی که در کشور ما در بخش سرمایه‌گذاری هست چی در بخش معدن باشه چی در سایر بخش ها تا او ما معرفی کنیم و نمو نقاط قوت ما که عبارت از فرصت هاست برای سرمایه‌گذارای بالقوه برسانیم. عموما سرمایه‌گذارای خارجی معلوماتی که در رابطه با افغانستان به دست میارن از طریق مطبوعات او خبرهای نگران کننده و تشویش آور است و انعکاس دهنده مشکلات ناامنی است، اما در موجودیت ناامنی ما فرصت‌های اطلاعی بسیار زیاد داریم که هر سرمایه‌گذار و تجار اگر بخواهد در افغانستان سرمایه‌گذاری کنه یک درآمد قابل ملاحظه‌ای از تجارت سرمایه‌گذاریش می داشته باشه و امو موضوع بود که امروز ما ایره مطرح کردیم و در جریان کنفرانس هم در 4 روز با کشورهایی که ملاقات داشتیم و صحبت‌های داشتیم ما روی از این موضوعات بحث کردیم و اینا را یعنی آگاه ساختیم در رابطه با فرصت‌ها. به می اساس از طرف مسئولین دولتی طی ملاقات‌ها به اساس صورت گرفت و از طرف سکتور خصوصی هم ما تصمیم داریم که یک گروه بزرگتر از اعضای سکتور خصوصی را تاجرها را از سکتورهای مختلف به کانادا بیاریم. قرار است در 29 اپریل یک کنفرانس تواصل تجارتی را بین اعضای سکتور خصوصی کانادا و افغانستان تنظیم کنیم که تا اونا با همدیگر ببینن روی سرمایه‌گذاری های مشترک، ایجاد شرکت های مختلط، خرید فروش اموال افغانی و کانادایی صحبت هایی داشته باشند تا در نتیجه قراردادهای عقد شود که ما عملا تجارت و سرمایه‌گذاری ها را توسط سکتور خصوصی که بازیکن اصلی از این فرصت ها و بخش اقتصادی هستند آغاز کنیم.
ممنون. شما گفتین که با کشورهای مختلف تبادل نظر داشتین، روی برنامه‌های افغانستان برای آنها معلومات ارائه کردین. نظر آنها چی بود؟ عکس العمل آنها چی بود؟ چقدر امیدوار کننده بود؟ تعهدات کشورهایی که شما با اونها معلومات تبادل کردین چی بودن؟
ببینین ما در جریان ملاقات ها زمانی که روی فرصت های سرمایه گذاری روی همکاری های از دو کشورها با افغانستان در انکشاف سکتور معادن صحبت کردیم و حتی یک تعداد کمپانی های خصوصی بسیار بزرگ را به نام مثلا کمپانی کودلکو، یکی از بزرگترین کمپانی های استخراج کاپر یا مس در شیلی است، با او صحبت کردیم. اونا علاقمندی خود نشان دادن که بیان به افغانستان، منتها اونا یک سلسله خواسته هایی دارن، مثلا میگن که پالیسی های بسیار سازنده و فرندلی، اینوسترز فرندلی وجود داشته باشه، قوانین بسیار سازنده وجود داشته باشه، حمایت همه جانبه از طرف از سرمایه گذاری متوسط دولت صورت بگیره و همچنان تشویش نگرانی ناامنی ها را داشتن. البته در قسمت اصلاحات در بخش قوانین، در بخش پالیسی ها امروز دیدین شما همو رودمپ یا اونمو راهبرد بخش چیره معدن ما امروز پرزنت کردیم. در او بخش ها انکشافات صورت گرفته. در بخش تأمین امنیت هم اقدامات روی دست گرفته شده و در جریان است تا هر سرمایه گذار خارجی که میره اوج سرمایه گذاری میکنه به خاطر تأمین امنیتش به طور اختصاصی دولت برنامه هایی را در نظر گرفته، یعنی میتونن با اطمینان کامل امنیت زوار برای زوار اطمینان بدن که امنیت زوار از سرمایه‌گذارا در افغانستان تامین است. خب باز هم ایجاد میکنه امروز برنامه‌ای که امروز ایده وجود داشت، در این برنامه از طرف مسئولین دولتی معلوماتی ارائه شد، اما به خاطر از اینکه ما سکتور خصوصی و سرمایه‌گذارا را تشویق کنیم که بیان در افغانستان سرمایه‌گذاری کنن، باید یار ارتباط بتیم با سرمایه‌گذارای داخلی ما، از اونا بشنون، تجارب از واره بشنون که سرمایه‌گذارایی که صورت گرفته در افغانستان، سرمایه‌گذاریایی که صورت گرفته با چه نوع مشکلات روبرو بودن، چه رقم مشکلات و چالش ها را مهار کردن و سکسس استوریایشان چی هستند، نقاط ضعف چی است، نقاط قوت در افغانستان در سرمایه‌گذاری. بعد از او بازی‌ها قانی میشن، آماده میشن که برن در افغانستان سرمایه‌گذاری کنن. با مو اساس ما تصمیم داریم که اولین کنفرانس تواصل تجارتی خود در بین کانادا و افغانستان در ماه اپریل داشته باشیم که امیدوار هستیم یک فرصت بسیار طلایی می باشه و یک آغاز بسیار خوب در سطح همکاری‌های سکتور خصوصی می باشه.
تشکر. میخوام اینجا یک پیام شما را هم داشته باشم، من حیث یک جوان، من حیث یک کسی که تازه از افغانستان آمدین، برای بیننده های ما و خصوصا برای جوانان پیام شما چی هست؟ افغانستان چقدر روی برنامه هایی که در این اواخر گرفته شده روی دست چقدر امیدوار کننده هست؟ پیام شما در مورد چی؟
ببینید، پیام به عنوان یک جوان افغان که در اونجا زندگی میکنم، نه اینکه به عنوان رئیس اتاق تجارت، واقعا افغانستان کشور ماست، وطن ماست، زادگاه ماست، یعنی از همه چیز بر ما مهمتر است. و افغانستان فعلی افغانستان نیست که مثلا 20 سال پیش بود یا 25 سال پیش بود یا 10 سال پیش بود. با وجود موجودیت چالش های امنیتی که نگرانی بزرگ را برای چی تشکیل برای هموطنان ما که در خارج زندگی میکنن با وجود آورده، فرصت‌های بسیار زیاد طلایی وجود داره و اقدامات بسیار مثبت و سازنده از طرف دولت روی دست گرفته شده. اولین بار ما از طریق خط آهن وصل میشیم به منطقه، اولین بار ما از طریق هوا صادرات میکنیم به هندوستان و راه‌های بدیل تجارتی ترانزیتی باز میشه. ما یک نقطه اتصال بین آسیای جنوبی و آسیای میانه هستیم. پس کشوری است، کشور فرصت‌ها، کشور انکشاف اقتصادی. از این باید استفاده صورت بگیره و تمام سرمایه‌گذارا هموطنان ما، چی افغان‌ها باشن چی خارجی‌ها باشن، بیان از این مستفید شون. تشکر بسیار زیاد.
تشکر میکنیم از شما که بر ما وقت مساعد کردین و با ما صحبت کردین.
زنده باشین صاحب، زنده باشین.
قدرمن لیدونکو بیا هم له تاسو څخه ډیره زیاته مننه کوم چې دم غړي زمونږه مملتیا وکړله. زمونږه دغه خپرونه په همدې ځای پای ته رسیږي. تر راتلونکي بل بحثه پورې چې بیا ستاسو په چوپړ کې حاضرېږو، تاسو په لوی څښتن تعالی سپارو. پاک الله مو مل شه.